Okay guys, today we're going to be running our first print on the Anycubic Photon S. What we're going to do here is we're just going to follow some of the basic setups on the printer. I've taken everything out of the box yesterday on our first video of unboxing the Anycubic Photon S. I'll link to that at the end of the video if anybody wants to see that. What we're going to do today is we're just going to set up the printer. We're going to level the build platform, and we're going to fill the vat up with resin, get everything ready, and we're going to run our first print. So I don't have anybody to film for me right now, so I'm going to stop here while I follow some of the basic directions to get the bed leveled. And there's plenty of videos out there that I'll link to that cover that, but I just want to show you guys how this performs so you can follow me through the process with the new printer here. Okay guys, next step here, I have plugged the power in now, as you can see back here. Sorry for the video, I'm using a horrible cell phone, little iPhone here, but I will get a better camera here to start filming. We've set up the power. I've just ran that over to a regular surge protector over here, and so we're going to get that going. You can see the display down here, and so they're saying first thing I want to do here is follow and set my Z coordinates up and level my bed, so I'm going to do that right now. I'll be back with you guys shortly. Okay, we're following the recommendations on the proper leveling of the bed. Just want to show everybody that we're doing that now. Okay, we're getting to the first print now. We have the printer somewhat set up now. We're getting ready to put some resin in here. It came with the printer, and we're going to print out our first test print here, the photon cube. So let me get it set up, and as soon as we get it started, I will pop on again for a minute here just to show you the start. Then I'll show you it later when it's finished. Okay everyone, as you can see, what we've done now is we've got the printer ready. Filled it up with some of this beautiful green resin that comes with the Anycubic, or at least it did with my version of the Anycubic S. And I've transferred my files from the drive that came with the Anycubic, this little white guy here, over to my computer, downloaded the slicing software, and I've transferred the photon file onto this drive here that I picked up from Best Buy, and I've now loaded that on here. So we're just going to start our first print here. Hopefully it's all good. So we're going to start out following the directions right here. We're just going to hit print. We're going to pick the photon cube, and hopefully we should be good, and see what we have here, and we'll hit play, and there it is right there. Cross your fingers guys, first time with a resin printing. And we have movement. This is pretty exciting stuff. So this is my second 3D printer. The first one I had was about 4 or 5 years ago, and it was a rep wrap that I built from scratch, and excited to come back 4 years later and be able to have a beautiful resin printer for less money than I spent on the kit for the rep wrap that I built. So here goes our build plate down into the vat. I did this right. Looks like it's burning the first layer there. So anyways, we will come back a little bit later and see where we're at with this. Hopefully we're where we need to be. That surely looks high there on the level of resin on top there, but hopefully we're okay. I'm probably paranoid now. Looks like our print has finished. The first test print here. Let's see what we have here. What does it say down here? Print finished. Enter. Alright, so let's back this out now. Back to the menu, and let's take a look at this print here. Alright, our test cube. Looks like we had a successful print here. Don't really want to take it out because it's really messy right now, and but it looks really good. It's solid. Nothing I can see that's obviously wrong right now. What I'll do is I will clean this one out and put it in the alcohol, clean it in the bath here, rinse it out, and it's nighttime now and I don't have a UV set up yet, so I will get this back on here after I get a chance to clean this, and I'll put this on the video. So good deal. We were able to get a great first test print off the Photon S here, which is exciting stuff for us there. I'm excited to set up our next print, and so I'll go in and next video we will set up, we'll slice and set up an STL file for our next video. So good deal, excited with our outcome here. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna pull this thing off the build plate, try and get it in some alcohol and process it to clean it off here, and then we're gonna set it up so we can set it out in the sun for curing tomorrow. So we are going to end up using this small strainer here that I have because I didn't realize, but this print's rather small, so it should be fine in here. Take the strainer here, we're going to fill it up with some alcohol. Have a normal 91% alcohol here, should work fine for us. You know what, I'm going to make sure I have, if everybody can see, I have my safety gloves and safety glasses on here, so in case we take a little alcohol or resin, worse yet, in our eyes, we'll be just fine. Alright, so here's our alcohol. We're going to take the alcohol, we're going to fill up this vat over here. This little pickle jar is actually what it is. We'll just go ahead and fill this guy up right here. That should give us plenty of space to put our model down in there to cure. So I'm trying to set this up as well as possible. I also have a bowl right here of water. I'm going to go back and forth with those. Let's see if we can get this alcohol container lid back on. Alright. So I'm going to pull the build plate and our print out here out of the printer. This looks like it's going to be pretty interesting as far as the mess goes. So we start off with these guys right here. Have some paper towels. We're going to pull the build plate out and we're going to wipe off the top of this with paper towels. As you can see, I'm just wiping the top off so it doesn't leak. The top of this build plate gets quite a bit of that resin on there also, so I'm going to set this over here. I have a cardboard box that I'm going to use to just kind of keep everything dirty in. Probably a pretty good idea. So what I'm going to try and do, which I've seen some of the guys that have done this for a while do, is I'm going to take this sharpened little stiff scraper here. I'm going to try and pop this guy off right here. right there into this. Boom, just like that. And if you can see, hopefully that went well. Our model went right down in there now. We'll take that scraper. I'm going to set this right here upside down real fast. Maybe not. And I'm just going to take and I'm going to grab paper towels again. I've got some alcohol in this so I can clean that guy off. And then I'm going to take some paper towels. I'm going to wipe this guy off right here, their build plate. Not so worried about scratching the build plate up, but you wouldn't want to do this with paper towels on your FEP. The plastic at the bottom of the vat. Next I will take and I have some little alcohol wipes here. And these are just some basic touchscreen wipes for phones and that type of thing. And I will open these guys up here so everybody can see the model's right down in here now. And I'm just giving it a good bath in this alcohol right here. So I'm going to take out some of these alcohol wipes here and I'm just going to clean off this build plate nicely here for our next print. You want to make sure all this gets nice and cleaned out here. I hope you can see. I know I'm probably horrible at filming here and narrating, but I'm doing the best I can as a beginner. And what we're doing here is we're just making sure that we have a solid first print. We thought it'd be important to put a video on here of the Anycubic Photon S first test print. And that's what we've done here. I'm going to take this now that I've cleaned it off real good with the alcohol wipes. I'm going to put it right back in the printer. We're looking good there. As you can see, this is back in here. We have the vat down there. I'm gonna just close this guy up. And making sure I keep everything that's kind of dirty in this nice little cardboard box there. Easy to get rid of. And then so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this for about 5 minutes here in the alcohol, and as you can see, it's actually a little strainer there, guy. So it's kind of nice. You can kind of work that model around in there. Work it all around. This model just turned out beautiful. The prints here on this Anycubic Photon S are really amazing. I did not own the Anycubic Photon, but I can tell you the S is something to be seen. The last 3D model I had was a rep wrap that I built from scratch, and obviously the prints were nothing like this. So I'm gonna let this sit here for about 5 minutes in the alcohol and get it kind of cleaned up, any loose resin in there. Then I'm gonna set it right here in this. This is filled up to the top with water. Rinse it off a little bit. Then I'll shake that off, probably put it back in here for 2 or 3 minutes. Then back in the water. Then I'm gonna dry it off. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set it on this guy right here, which is a solar spinner, a little solar display off of Amazon. I think 3D Print Farm had the links to that on one of their videos, getting started, 101 tips. Little guy here, but it should hold most of the prints. I'll put this print on here, and then it's solar. You can see the solar configuration on all sides. I'll set this outside, and I'll leave this out here for about 20 minutes in the morning, and I'll just let that sun, that fresh morning sun, cure this guy for about 20 minutes or so. Then I'll bring it back in, and we should have a nice model. I will put a link or some pictures on the video for everybody to see. So thank you guys for joining us on the first Anycubic Photon S test print. Have a great day.